And the last presenter session for the day will be led by Naman Sarawgi. He is the founder at reference.com and has been an ex-Freecharge and ZipDial fellow. In his session today, you'll get a chance to explore some proven psychological hacks for effective communication. May I please welcome Naman on stage with a huge round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. So this session is at the end. So as Kunal said, I'm like the top of the mall. You have to bear with every other floor, and then the entertainment zone is at the top of the mall. Quick show of hands, How many of you are here Marwadi Baniya? Show of hands. Bansals in the house? Any Bansals in the house? Wow. Okay, Tamil Brahmins in the house? Great. So I'm not being racist. I'm just doing my market segmentation. Right? But pretty bad at that, right? Because we're going to talk about marketing. Doesn't matter what race you come from, what religion you come from. It should work for you, right? So a quick show of hands, and this time for real, How many of you are marketing managers, marketing guys? Product guys? Okay, nice. Founders and CEOs? Okay, very few. Right. So just so that you take me a little more seriously, I was the first product manager at Freecharge. I was the first product manager at ZipDial. $400 million, another undisclosed amount, but very high, sold to Twitter. I was also the founder at FindYogi, again, sold to a large company. Any company that has ever paid me has got acquired or exited. So you know what to do, right? I put all my money in these companies. There are other twos, they obviously are defunct, so, duba diya unhone paisa. So Daily Ninja, milk delivery, 45,000 daily deliveries funded by Sequoia, Sama, Matrix Capital, big thing, right? Cash-free, YC graduate, they do about $500 million profits every month, right? Holidify, probably the second largest content platform for travel in India. Google's Choice Award for best travel app. They are still not on iOS, but Android, right? Springroll is doing LinkedIn on blockchain, right? Probably the best blockchain engineers, right? Locomo is a very nascent startup. They are trying to do location for enterprise tracking, sales field force and all those things. I just made my site live yesterday for this event. It's called reference.com. The product is not ready, but I still suggest you to go sign up. It takes 30 seconds. There will be interesting newsletters sent over the next 1 week or so. And you will get a chance to earn money. For every contact, every business contact that you've ever had, you can make money. And I'm not talking about 10 rupees, 20 rupees. I'm talking about at least 10,000, 20,000 rupees per contact. Okay. So, what we generally talk about in these sessions, et cetera, right? We're talking about digital marketing. We look a step back, and we first have to talk about marketing, right? And a lot of you have heard about Lindy's effect, right? Lindy's effect basically says if something is survived for 100 years, it will survive another 100 years, right? So if we focus on digital marketing, it's probably 10 or 15 years old, right? So it doesn't make much sense. Let's talk about brands that are centuries or millennium old, right? And let's look at what those brands do. So, one of the oldest and the biggest brands in the world is Christianity. Right? So we are going to look at marketing from a Christianity point of view. And the fact that Christianity works in Bharat and in India, in US, whether you are top of the pyramid or bottom of the pyramid, there are some common things that brings us all together, right? And we are going to talk about that. So first, we look at what is a marketer supposed to do, right? A marketer is not supposed to make a product. Okay, they are supposed to sell hope, right? So Colgate say, whether your teeth become strong or white or whatever, or it does not matter, right? A marketer needs to give you that hope that when you use Colgate, things improve, right? And when I say things improve, if you talk about product, the first principal definition of product is something that makes a better version of yourself. So if I wear a nice shirt, I'm buying a better version of myself, right? So you have to give hope to become a better version of yourself, right? What do humans survive for? What do humans live for, right? Our basic two challenges, survival and reproduction, right? So when we, and there is no third need, right? If you don't want to reproduce or can't reproduce and you don't want to survive, you die. So you're no longer a human, right? So what Christianity says is, Christianity has this commandment saying the 7 sins. And Christianity says, do not commit these 7 sins in your lifetime, right? A lot of this is common with Jainism, Hinduism, etc., right? What marketing says is, if you can't make me commit one of these sins, you will go bankrupt, right? So we'll look at it from a marketing point of view, right? And you can stop me whenever you want to, right? So the first sin is gluttony. Gluttony basically means food, right? Gluten, gluttony, food. What it means is consumption. So what do you do to make me consume more, right? So for example, Fresh Menu, right? Now if you go to Fresh Menu's website, that food is placed in a very nice bowl, right? And with a nice, some Italian dinnerware, etc., right? But when it comes in a cardboard box, right? So when you look at the food in nice Italian dinnerware, you want to consume, right? It feels good, right? So, let's forget about the food. Food is the product, right? As a marketer, your selection of the picture should be nice, right? Now, what purist marketers would say, or a purist product manager would say, is, yeah, this is deceiving, right? Our food is delivered in a cardboard box. How can we show it in a dinnerware? So, don't listen to purists, okay? Purists never make money, right? So the idea is, you find the fine balance. Food है, दाल मखनी मिलेगा, साथ में तंदूरी रोटी मिलेगा, but आपका box है, अभी आपके घर में dinnerware नहीं है, तो not my fault, right? What YouTube does is, YouTube will show you a nice thumbnail, right? When you're watching a nice video during office hours, वो side में अच्छा सा thumbnail आता है, and then we click. Now imagine YouTube without the thumbnail. We will probably watch that video, right? A nice engagement का video है, right? And then we end up clicking something else, right? The choice of the thumbnail makes us consume more videos on YouTube, right? So is your marketing helping me consume more, right? If it is not helping me consume more, you are a dead product. Second is lust, right? Our desire. So you'll see, all of these are either connected to survival or reproduction, right? Consume more because pata nahi kal khana milega ki nahi milega, because we were all animals, right? We didn't know how hunter-gatherers, right? Whether tomorrow I'll find a hunt or not. Let's consume whatever we have today, right? So lust obviously comes with a desire of, reproducing, right? So with that we can leave a legacy behind. Now lust has been sold very, very nicely. So I'll give you an example of X deodorant, right? Isko lagaoge to ladkiyan paas aayenge, etc. Right? Now there's a brand called Fog, which does not sell on lust, it sells on greed. It says, it lasts longer. Kya chal raha hai? Fog chal raha hai, right? Because it lasts longer. But if you realize, it's still in one of these 7 segments, right? Why this is important to understand is, you have to understand your message, right? If you are going to send me a push notification during my dinner time, during my office hours, you're sending me an email, you are interrupting. So when you're interrupting, make sure you interrupt nicely, right? So, and at a lot of times, it's the message that counts, not of when the message was sent. Third is pride. Now, pride in humans comes from the, so pride basically means my ability to attract the opposite gender, right? If I feel part of a club that is up there, right, my ability to attract the opposite gender will be higher. So that is where pride comes from. So pride is basically that I'm having good food, right? Some people even survive by selling salads, right? They're selling you a pride that I'm taking good care of myself. That's pride, right? Does your product let me do that? Right. So fourth is envy. Envy is being jealous, right? Now imagine a Mercedes car without the Mercedes emblem, right? You don't know what car your neighbor drives because you can't figure out, right? Most people can't look at a Mercedes and say it is Mercedes. They have to look at the logo, right? So does your product drive envy? And we'll look at examples of these things. Now, most of you who've gone to college, during the 2005, 2010 when jockey was new in this country, all these 19, 20-year-olds, they used to flash their underwears, ऊपर में jockey लिखा रहता था, right? Because jockey के ad में दिखाया, it is okay to flash your underwears, right? And that is what created FOMO, right? Fear of missing out, right? Everybody is wearing jockey, I should be wearing jockey, right? Jockey is, by the way, manufactured in a factory in JP Nagar, right? It's not like manufactured in New York, the ones that you buy here, right? So blue ticks are again envy, right? Kunal Shah has blue tick on Twitter, so blue tick is a like nice thing, right? So if your product can create envy, it will create word of mouth also. Next is wrath. Wrath basically means anger, right? And we've seen how Baba Ramdev have sold us product, right? Videshi chodo, Swadeshi apnao, right? Or how Kejriwal does, right? Ye sab to mile hue hain, BJP is sure and whatever, right? So wrath generally means, it's difficult to sell a new product on wrath, right? Wrath basically means that the incumbent is cheating you, right? The incumbent is bad, come to me, right? It works. Why? Because wrath basically induces fear of non-survival, right? मैं गुस्सा इसलिए हूँ, I'm angry because I might die, because this person is hurting me, this brand is hurting me. So there is wrath. The sixth one is greed. Now, greed is like it's universal. We'll give you an example, So a person called Kunal Shah launched free charge in 2010, right? For like the 98% of India, right? Now, that same formula is being converted into a product called Cred and launched for the top 1% of India. And it's greed, it's the exact same model, right? Free charge was pay your recharge, phone bills, and we'll give you coupons. Cred is pay your credit card bill, we'll give you coupons, right? No business model change. Greed is universal, right? It doesn't matter if you can sell greed to Ambani also, right? You can do that. Right? You need to know how much greed is good greed. Right? Now, when you combine pride and greed, you end up creating magical products like free charge and cred. Pride, because it is only for the people jinka credit score above 750 hai. That is cred for you, right? And greed, obviously, free coupons, right? I met somebody who's already booked a 5,000 rupees Ixigo ka, free flight because he paid 2 lakh rupees ka credit card bill. Nice. So when you combine these two, right, pride and greed, you create magical products. And the way to find out these magical products is stop looking online, go into offline world, right? Find that soap that is sold by a Aishwarya Rai and a Shah Rukh Khan, but still is the cheapest soap in the market, Lux. Right? So there is pride that I'm using the same soap as Shah Rukh Khan. By the way, Shah Rukh Khan has sold Lux, That's difficult to imagine, but yes. And, pride is there, but there is greed because it's the cheapest soap. So there's nothing wrong, because Shah Rukh Khan wala soap hai ye to. Last is sloth. Sloth is basically laziness, right? Now, fortunately, unfortunately, all digital products have this advantage, right? Because they save us time. If it doesn't save us time, it is a useless product, right? So it is already built in, right? So, but sometimes pride and greed together can overtake laziness. So laziness again is related to survival, right? Because help me, burn less calories, I'll survive for tomorrow. Let's not forget, we are still that, 10,000-year-old animals, right? Acha shirt pehan ke, acha coat pehan ke, doesn't help, right? Here we are still, survival and reproduction. So cred, for example, I'll take an example of cred. It takes a little more time to pay your credit card bill, and Kunal is going to kill me for this. If you pay your credit card bill through cred, it takes a little more time than paying it through, your regular channel, right? But you've trained yourself to now use cred, right? Let's go a little back, more practical example. I know some of you have not used cred because, obviously your credit score is below 750. Ola in 2012, वो 100 रुपए के discount के लिए, right? For that greed, we ended up training the Ola drivers how to look at a map, how to read English, how to greet, good morning, sir, may I open the gate, etc. Right? So when there is greed, because we are a money poor country and a time poor country, it can even overtake sloth. Right? मेरा 100 रुपए बचाओ, I'll work 30 minutes for you in trying to, create a training set for you. Right? So. No, the problem with sloth is, say if it's easier to buy things on Big Basket versus going to Big Bazaar, right? It is laziness, right? It is sloth. But sloth also has to be predictable. So what that means is, if I'm going to take 1 hour to buy things on Big Basket, and only 90% of the things are going to turn up, right? Sir, baki out of stock ho gaya tha. That is not predictable, right? And the first and foremost thing about a product should be predictable, right? Kal 10 minute laga tha, agar aaj 12 minute lag gaya, there's a problem, right? And you'll slowly realize how predictability is at the core of human behavior, right? If your spouses know that if you've just brushed your teeth, will you come out of the bathroom or not, right? Predictable, right? If you've had a glass of water, whether you want it on your dining table or whether you want it in a bedroom, right? Predictable, right? Your mom knows when you're hungry. Predictable, right? Predictable is a sign of not fearing. So when you're in a jungle, the tiger is unpredictable, right? If it is predictable that he's going to kill you, there is no fear. Aao maar lo, right? But if there is uncertainty, right? Unpredictability, whether he'll kill me or not kill me, that is where fear comes in. Humans hate fear, right? Because they think it's attacking their survival. Right? So predictability, it's been done very nicely. Kyuki saas bhi kabhi bahu thi comes at 10 p.m. in the night, right? It's been 10 years, and I still remember this, right? Kaun Banaya Crorepati has done about 7 seasons, 9 p.m. in the night. It's predictable, right? There are some products that have added predictability to it. It's like traffic signal. 15 years ago, Indian traffic signal did not have a timer. Now they have a timer, 90 seconds left, 60 seconds left, 30 seconds left. It is predictable. What does it do? It saves fuel, right? Because 60 seconds left, you can turn off the engine. If it's 10 seconds left, you don't turn off the engine, right? So by keeping me informed, you are making the product more predictable. Hence, I don't fear your product. Scoop whoop. 10 p.m. on your Facebook, there will be a soft porn article, right? If you watched Ripley's Believe It or Not on AXN, the last segment was soft porn, right? Predictable, right? So as a 12-year-old, I would wait till 10:30 in the night. Right. Cartoons in newspaper, for as long as there is this horoscope section, and the cartoons and the horoscope section will be in the same page. Predictable, right? Page 3 is called page 3 for a reason, right? Because it's predictable. Imagine if page 3 is on page 28. You'll get confused. A lot of people, we have this habit of taking newspapers to the washroom, and yaar, page 3 nahi hai, ab to hoga nahi aaj. Right? Predictability. And it is that core, right? If you look at a lot of online platforms, they don't win because there is no predictability. Yaar, 4 freelancer ko liya, writing start karwa diya, kabhi 4 baje article aa raha hai, sometimes it's 10 p.m. in the night, sometimes it's 5 p.m. in the evening. There is no predictability, right? If it's not predictable, it's not part of my lifestyle, right? And this routine thing is important, There's this product called Colgate mouthwash, Colgate Plaques or something, right? Their ad said, subah ko brush, sham ko kulla. Because they're trying to fit that product in your lifestyle. When do you use a mouthwash? You've just brushed your teeth, right? Colgate Plaques and Colgate toothpaste, it has the same smell and whatever, right? How do you fit that product in your thing? So you have to make it, part of my routine. So you keep saying, you know what Colgate toothpaste does. This is what Colgate, Plaques will do, right? So on predictability, we'll look at in internet, right? You have to make the next step predictable for me, right? What happens when I click on this submit button? What happens if I click on this continue button? What happens if I click on your Google ad, right? You have to make it predictable, right? So the way to do is I tell you what I'm going to tell you, then I tell you, and then I tell you what I told you, right? So it's like predictable, right? Before I started my speech, somebody came and introduced me, told the topic, so it's predictable what I'm going to do. Predictability is core part of a product, right? If you pay through your, if you pay through, say, Paytm, the invoice will get cleared, right? Your gas bill, your electricity bill will get cleared. If it doesn't happen once, trust is lost, right? Because not predictable, right? If you realize, and a lot of marketing, when you look at, leave Bangalore, go to your hometowns. Most of you are not from Bangalore, I know, right? Go to your tier 2, tier 3 hometowns, spend time with your family, right? And then that is where you'll realize that non-predictability se kitne problems aate hain, right? when you have this habit of coming back at home at 8 p.m., right, and your spouse or your mother or who is been waiting, today you come at 9 p.m. There's so much of anxiety. Humans hate anxiety. So current state of the user, current state of the order, Praveen Jadhav was here. He was like, yeah, from the time you pay to your, it might take actually 5 days for the mutual fund policy number to actually get issued. Can I keep you informed? Right? Can I keep you informed that order aaj aayega? Right? Today at 8 p.m. the orders will be delivered. Please be at your home. Right? And by keeping me informed, you are helping change habits. Right? Imagine you are training 1 crore drivers in India to switch off their engine at the red light. It saves billions of dollars for a country just by putting a timer on the traffic signal. Right? By making it more predictable, the predictability traffic signal का increase हो रहा है, effect कहीं और हो रहा है. Right? So that is the kind of change you can bring. Right? So I found this thing very nice, Medium and Kindle, when it tells you 2 minutes left in the article and 2 minutes left in the page, it pushes you to do a little more. Right? ये chapter अभी complete करके सोएंगे. I'll take few examples of products which are very mature, right? And they do predictability very well. I've spoken to a lot of UI designers, and they find Amazon's UI as very cluttered, especially if you look at the product page. It's like सब कुछ दे दिया यहाँ पे. And that is the idea. The idea is not to please the UI designer, right? The idea is to make, help the consumer not find information. The information should be there, right? Minimal design बनाऊंगा मैं. यार तेरे minimal design के चक्कर में मेरा retention rate खराब हो रहा है, मेरा whatever, right? So this is the payment page of Amazon. Before going to the payment page, right? Before going to the net banking page, it has already told you, कि boss, Axis Bank आज work नहीं कर रहा है. Axis Bank is down. Please use something else. Now imagine if this notification was not there, right? You would click on Axis Bank. That's about 5% of your audience, right? Axis Bank is a pretty large thing, right? You go there, come back. यार नहीं हुआ, right? So dropout rate increases, and then you get frustrated, right? Two things, right? As a marketer, product manager, we can go, go to Axis Bank and shout on them or whatever, right? It's not going to work, right? HDFC Bank is down for 6 days. It's not going to work, right? You have the finance ministry tweeting saying that everything is right. There's nothing, no problem. Only the app is down, right? Or you can just make it a little more predictable. ठीक है यार, Axis Bank work नहीं कर रहा है, कुछ और use कर लेते हैं, right? Right.
There's always this conflict, right? Assuming there are 5% Axis Bank users.
Right.
Why bother the 95% people with this information when it's not?
Right. So exactly here, yes, exactly here is where I'm going to use a plug for WebEngage. So you use WebEngage, and the last time this user came, right, you are going to tag this user saying इसने Axis Bank click किया था. So in the attribute, Axis Bank is added as an attribute, and now you show this message only to people who have Axis Bank as an attribute, right? So that saves your other 95% of the audience.
This was not planned.
Okay, so on the same page, can you see over there? You can review this order before it's final, over there, right? It's the same page, continue. So you don't know, right? अभी credit card number डाल दिया है, book हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, right? You are confused. So it says you can book. It's making it so predictable, right? As a designer, as a geek, if you're reviewing this design, you may not be able to understand this. As a first-time user, and most Indian users are first-time users, right? Imagine CreditMate was here, right? CreditMate is giving loans for second-hand bikes. Now imagine you are so out of this financial inclusion thing, कि अभी तुम second-hand bike ले रहे हो, तो this is the first financial transaction you're ever doing in your life, right? Freecharge, imagine Freecharge, and I'll give you a small anecdote of what kind of users we onboarded on Freecharge. This girl calls me at 8 a.m. in the morning, कि मेरा, my bank account got debited, but my recharge hasn't happened. I told her, drop a mail at care@freecharge.in. She's confirming care@freecharge.in or care@freecharge.in. There was this uncle who was like, can I send you a check and you can do my recharge? I said, not possible. So what do I need to, sir? Get a credit card. Your bank will help you get a credit card. He gets a credit card 15 days later. He's like, I have a credit card. Tell me what to do. Sir, go there, enter your credit card here, here, here. It took me like 4 minutes, 5 minutes to explain him what is CVV. He's like, beta, मैं तुमको है ना अपना credit card देता हूँ, तुम recharge करता. You won't believe I'm consulting, until recently I was consulting with an insurance company, 5 out of 10 5 out of 10 people end up giving us their credit card numbers. Right? So we had to make this rule that only one person can, take this credit card number because we know what will go wrong with that, right? But people don't know. So American Express mein CVV is on the front, Visa, MasterCard, it is on the back side. First time I got an American Express, I was like, yaar, CVV nahi hai, isko kuch aur bolte hain. There's 4 digit now, this is not 3 digit. Unpredictable, right? American Express can afford to do this because, pride, right? Ab to main American Express ke level pe aa gaya hu, right? So they can afford to do this, right? Try RuPay. If RuPay had to do that, not gonna work. Very nice example. This is Uber. It's Ganesh's first week driving with Uber. Had Uber not told me this, it would have been very upsetting. Abhi, I am now this nice guy, right? I have this new story for my Twitter. Look, everybody has a Twitter story about their Uber and Ola ride, but this is my Uber Ola story. It is Ganesh's first week at Uber, so please cooperate. Ab to main ekdam social service kar raha hu, right? I'm helping him do maps and everything, right? Just by one message, some product manager, some marketing manager took this pain of saying, let's make it more predictable. Right? This is upsetting, but this is no longer upsetting because reset ho gaya na. That is Amazon. Imagine Amazon having to tell you 100% purchase production. That thing over there on the top right corner, that is on every product page of Amazon. Right? They still have to tell you that it's 100% protection, etc. Right? Designed for the first-time user. He still has questions. He still knows that returns hoga, nahi hoga. What is it? Because there are companies in e-commerce, right? I'll name them. Pepper Fry, 25% fee if you cancel your order. Right? So you have to make it more predictable. Right? And users have this question. When they are on the checkout page, users have this question, what will happen next? Right? Too much clutter, but as a user, you'll see that this actually works. Okay, some interesting things. So this is the free charge coupon that we gave out 8 years ago. So if you think 50 rupees looks cheap, you add inflation, it's almost 100 rupees now, 8 years ago. So I'm going to decode this coupon for you. So I'll quickly give you, there are some old people in the house. So 2010, we launched a product called Free Charge. One engineer, one product manager, one part-time founder. Kunal was working for some other company. One customer support guy, right? We were covered by every media of the country within first 2 months. We were on TV in the first 2 months, right? And 3 months after launch, on the day of Diwali, we surpassed Snapdeal, which was much more funded and much more older, in number of transactions per day, right? I'm talking about one engineer, right? Most of you sitting here have an engineering team of more than 10 people, right? One engineer created a product, okay? If you go look back at the archives, the UI was bad. Did not matter. Pride tha, greed tha, sab valid hai, right? And so we spent, me and Kunal, we spent about 8 to 9 hours deciding the size of this coupon. Okay, so these are physical vouchers that are couriered to you. When we first went to, we were on this show called ET Ka Startup Now, and the host of the show is telling us that you should have done e-vouchers. Why do physical coupons, right? It's cheaper and easier and whatever, right? But we did physical coupons. The size of this coupon is a little bigger than your credit card. It's a little thinner than your credit card, but thicker than your visiting card. If you put it in your standard size wallet, it will stick out a little as a reminder that you have a coupon there, right? So Kunal was heading a BPO, 600 employees. We actually measured about 200 wallet sizes to come up with this coupon size, right? Because we wanted redemption rates to be high, right? We did not want redemptions to be high. We wanted redemption rates to be high, right? Second order thinking, it's important. If you're going to send a notification, obviously it's going to convert, right? But 1% conversion rate versus 1.5% conversion rate, that might be the difference between a bankrupt company versus a Flipkart, right? Flipkart is also bankrupt, right? No. Abhi acquisition ho gaya. So I'll quickly tell you, how many of you know the price of ice cream at Baskin Robbins? How much? Around 125. Anyone else? 125? Right? So we had this confusion. If I'm going to write 1 scoop of ice cream, people wouldn't know ki ek scoop ka value kya hai. So the ice creams were actually at that time around 55, 56 rupees. We said we are not going to say 60, we are going to say 50. Round figure, 50 का note बड़ा लगता है, 60 का तो note ही नहीं होता है, right? So that is where definite value comes in. Greed में, you have to tell me how much do I get, right? One scoop of ice cream is not enough to say, right? Physical coupon, obviously, when you are paying at a McDonald's, at a Baskin Robbins, then your friend looks at you and there's like a physical mark, right? Like that jockey ka logo or that Mercedes ka emblem, right? That is what physical coupons did for us. And you can pass on the physical coupons. You got 2 Baskin Robbins, you can pass on to somebody, right? And it's simple. The backside of this coupon had 3 lines of terms and conditions, not written by a lawyer, written by a product manager. Important, right? If you're going to open like a 50-page, 50 lines of terms and conditions, not going to work. By rehne de yaar, tere se nahi hoga, right? 3 lines, tell me short and simple, right? If I'm going to take time, what the other panelists were earlier telling, I don't trust you when you tell me 100% cashback. Right? Because then you are going to open your Pandora box of all these terms and conditions, right? This hologram on top, right? India has this magical love for holograms, right? That adds pride. So we heard a couple of college students saying, "Yaar, isme kya hai, to koi bhi print kar lega," which was true. You could actually just print out anywhere and it would work, But then we started putting that hologram, so people value this coupon, right? So the point is the Photoshop guy took probably like 3 to 4 hours to design this whole thing, right? But we took like about 2 to 3 months to come up with what we want in that coupon, right? And that is the amount of time you will need to give. So quick tips, okay? Stop thinking short term, okay? 100% off, maximum rupees 50, right? We've all seen this. Paytm is the culprit here. Right, 100% off, maximum rupees 10. Product ka price kya hai? 100 rupees, right? Over time, Paytm has designed us, Paytm has trained our monkey brains not to pay attention to their coupons. To some people, it might still work, but otherwise it doesn't work, right? Keep it simple. So this is actual thing, So Ankur Variku was here. He was talking about pair of shorts, right? Pair of spectacles. So this was actual SMS alert sent by Policy Bazaar, right? And I thought this was pretty interesting. So it says, Government of India has announced the 5 lakh rupees health cover for everybody below poverty line. Still thinking to buy yours, compare at this thing. So, I'm consulting insurance company. I was like, yeah, perfect message, copy kar do, bhej do. We got like a 12% conversion rate from this SMS. Not people clicking on this link. People actually putting in their phone number and everything. They thought this is the link to apply for that government plan, wo Modi Care plan, right? If you really realize, right, this message is second order. X is happening to Y segment of people. You are not in that Y segment of people. So you should, as a Z segment of people, you should go do something, right? We thought as marketers it would work. It did not work, right? Exclusivity. Somebody over here was telling, I'm in a crowded market. How do I differentiate myself? So basic law of retailing, if you are selling what somebody else is also selling, you will never make profits. So that is why OnePlus has to be exclusive to Amazon. MI has to be exclusive to sometime Flipkart, sometime Amazon. Flipkart has to launch their own private label brand. Big Basket does 40% private label, etc. Right? If you are selling something that somebody else is selling, you are never going to make profits, right? And you could keep things exclusive, right? So because Mahindra in Coorg is available only on Make My Trip app. Now this is, Carter's is a very popular, children wear brand, right? It was only on hopscotch, right? And that is the reason we got hooked to that platform, right? You won't believe the first time I transacted on ZopNow, I went to buy Sendha Namak, right? My mom was in town, she was fasting, Sendha Namak chahiye. Abhi, Sendha Namak is, I think, rock salt or something like that. So use only that. Googled it, first link ZopNow, perfect, right? I know the brand because, BK Birla, the founder, is very active on social media, right? So consideration set mein aa chuka hai, product available hai, go buy it, right? So that is how it worked, right? Vernacular is happening for real, okay? Last month, my dad at 8 a.m. in the morning, he booked a Portia thing in Surat, right? Some flyer, some Hindi language flyer in a newspaper, and he calls up the phone number, and he booked a blood test, etc. for him. Good. The bad part, after 10 minutes, he gets an automated IVR call in English. Your order number is, and then he reads out a 10-digit number, press 1 for this, press 2 for this, and boom. Right? So it wasn't predictable. First part was in Hindi, the next in English, doesn't work. So cohorts and segmentations, right? Very important, so right? Otherwise, it's not going to work. Personalization, put the user's first name. People love their identity, right? Call me by my first name, I love it, right? Instead of saying, dear user, dear customer. WebEngage lets you do that, right? WebEngage lets you do that. Timing is important. If people are opening your message, don't change the time. If people are not opening your message, change the time, right? So timing of when you open the message is important. So, email, SMS, I'll quickly take you through. If you send out an email, send out choices on the email, right? Don't send out alerts on emails. SMS is for transaction alerts. People who do not have push notifications, people on OnePlus, brand, the push notification doesn't really work. So you should send SMS to them, right? On-site notifications, instant discounts works. You create an urgency, it will work, right? Push notifications work great as a reminder. So there is a company called Daily Ninja that I've invested in. They changed the ringtone of the push notification, right? So you know that what Kunal was saying in the morning, right? If Swiggy can do a double bell, I'll know it's Swiggy. So Daily Ninja did a different bell for the notification, and we knew it was Daily Ninja, right? And again, predictability. So if the ad says house insurance, the landing page shouldn't say home insurance. Yeah, it will take 5 seconds to decode, is house equal to home? Home matlab rented wala ya house matlab rented wala? Don't make me think, right? And insurance is not equal to cover. I realize this very late, right? The message says, get a 5 lakh rupees health cover, right? Versus health insurance, right? It's synonym. Your SEO guy will tell you, use synonyms to rank higher. Push notification doesn't work. This is Flipkart's actual email. That is not 3 emails. That is 1 email, 2 email, 3 email. I told you email pe choices work karte hain. Not like this. Right? Flipkart will still land in inbox. You will not land in inbox. Right? Flipkart has a 12 to 15% open rate. You will not land in inbox if you do that. Use WebEngage so that you can personalize this message for me. Right? Don't do this. Okay, I actually wanted to use a brand here, then I realized, they are now a customer of WebEngage, so I didn't put them there, right? Ek notification bol raha hai, give me your email address, 30% discount, and whatever, that European law, GDPR law, right? And can I show you your notifications, etc. WebEngage lets you limit. They let you limit 1 notification per day per customer, right? So, use that, right? And honestly, this is a career advice. If your company cannot afford WebEngage, quit. You will destroy your career. You will destroy your career working for a founder who does not have the ability to raise money. Thank you.